I'm a natural progression of the species. Evolution is a part of nature, and nature kills. Simple. I wasn't begging for my life. I was offering you yours.
So it is another Fictional Character Friday. I got my man, the seated savant here, coming in with the red. Is that red? Are you wearing red?
Is.
That's red.
It's red.
That's murder. It's red. You know, I got my red. I got my red too. It's not Vader though. I can't Vader anyone, but you know, I got Ghostface on here. But I think red's very appropriate for this podcast in general. I actually there's a video that I'm doing about the Taco Bell Strangler that'll be coming out not this upcoming Monday, but the following. And I make a joke about how instead of chalupas and quesadillas, and then I say something about instead of fire sauce, there was blood. So yeah, we'll see the reaction that I get from that.
That's a very interesting secret sauce.
Yeah.
What is this secret sauce? You guys do things differently here.
He's like, you want to go in the back and check out this secret sauce we got in? Let me tell you. Let me give you a hint. You're the secret ingredient. Oh man, that's fun. But you're doing good. You're doing good.
I'm good. Life is good.
All right. Well, today we are talking about, this is your boy. This is someone that you wanted to discuss. And honestly, I forgot about this character, but I'm glad that you brought it to my attention because he is up there in the sick fuck category. We are talking about Sylar. And I'm going to put him on the screen so people can know who we are referring to here. Sylar, off the show Heroes. I believe it aired in 2006, and then it went for 4 years. Although to me, there's only one good season. I don't really remember the rest though, but to me, I remember the one season and it was good.
I liked the first 2 seasons, and then they fucked it up in season 3.
Okay.
I don't know how much, because that was right when the writer's strike happened.
Right.
Was between 2 and 3. Then it just dropped the ball.
Yeah, so Sylar, played by Zachary Quinto, I think is the actor who plays him. And I do like him in a lot of the things that he has appeared in, a lot of the films.
He was actually Spock in the in the reboot of Star Trek.
A lot of people don't like those reboots. A lot of people don't like them. I think he did play. I think he's a good Spock. I think he, as far as looks and stuff, like I think he pulled that off for sure.
I'm not enough of a Trekkie to have much of an opinion, so when people say they have an issue with it, I defer to them because it was never really my fandom.
Clearly, you watched the films though, right? Did you enjoy them or?
Yes. I mean, it's not, not my circus, so I was able to turn my brain off and have fun.
No, I get that. But Sylar Gray is the character we're talking about. The name Sylar he took from, was it a watch brand?
It's a fictional watch brand from either World War I or World War II.
Okay, fair enough. Do you, I mean, this is your boy. Do you want to go into like his upbringing? And I can just touch on some stuff?
So when he was a smallman, the first scene we see of him, of Kitty Sylar, is his father murking his mother right in front of him because they're having a fight of some sort. Doesn't really go into detail. What we do find out is that his father, his biological father, had the same power / affliction Sylar has.
Mm-hmm.
He was adopted by a watchmaker and a woman who made figurines. And he always wanted to be special. Like, he felt like a nobody, no name type of person. with a mundane life.
Right.
His adoptive mother, from what I remember, seemed a bit like a bit ditzy, maybe a little airheaded, but well-meaning for the most part. She has no idea that he's a killer when we see her. So she has this like innocent view of him, like, oh, you couldn't hurt anyone.
Right.
This was during one of his. Go ahead.
I was gonna say no. That's usually how it is. A lot of like serial killers, like their family is like, I could not even picture them doing anything. It's like deep down you knew, like you knew something was off, but denial is a real thing.
Well, I mean, she sees him use his powers, sees the look he gets in his eye when he's using his powers. During that stretch, he's trying like to find the right path. Like, I don't want to say lucidity because he knows what's going on the whole time, but reemergences of conscience. He goes back and visits his mother. She sees the look he gets in his eyes and basically says, "Get the hell away from me." They tussle over a knife, and he kills her, and he paints the future of New York blowing up in her blood. And he's like, yes, I will be special. I will be the most, basically, I'll be the most specialist of them all. The bestest ever.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's his big motivation. There are two aspects to his motivation. He genuinely wants to be special. He considers what he's doing an evolutionary imperative. That's the phrase he uses. Because the scientist finds him, the scientist finds him and says, "Hey, you're special. You have this power, and I want to map your brain." And then they think he doesn't, but obviously his power just manifests in a subtle way. And then he becomes, the guy who steals powers. Like, fucking, who's a good equivalent to this? Almost like Apocalypse type character.
Okay. Apocalypse from the Marvel universe, correct?
Yeah, in the sense that he's constantly gaining. He's giving himself upgrades. He's stealing powers from people. Yeah.
So that's pretty much his childhood, right?
Yes. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, you're fine. You gave us like some context into his character. The part about him stabbing is his adoptive mother, right? Was that a later thing that you were saying?
That's during the main run of the show. This was okay. I'm sorry, I was jumping.
No, it's fine. That's why, dude, I'm asking you questions now. I think it was interesting. So I was like doing a lot as far as looking at his childhood, right? And him witnessing his father off his mother, right? Like right in front of him. Do we know how old he was when he witnessed this? Was he
young enough to still call his mother mommy?
All right.
So I don't know if that's an exact age, but it gives you an idea. Like, he was still in the frame of mind to use mommy.
No, yeah. So yeah, fairly young, like very young, very young. So I was like looking at how much children recall, right, from a young age, the impact of seeing, one of your parents kill another one of your parents, essentially. And like there's going to be major trauma that you just won't forget. And I was reading this one article, and it pretty much talked about these studies. This article actually came out in 1995, and it was looking, and I think it looked at 200 adolescents, and it wanted to study, how much the child would remember, a significant event like that, right? As far as, when they got older, or at that, during that time, depending on how young they were. And they came up with that the younger the child was in witnessing like a very traumatic event like that, the more profound, the more profound of an impact it would have on them, right? And which I was like, wow, like, because there's a lot of shit 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that you don't remember. Right?
Right.
There's some things that you just like don't remember. You grow up like, oh, that happened. Like you talk to your parents, like, oh, I did that, right? But they found that these kids at a very young age, even though they can't articulate what they saw, they remember what happened. And they study them from like 2, 3, 4, and then they talk to them when they're like 15. They wait until they're teenagers. And there was a study where, twins, right? I think twins are kind of perfect for studies like this. One, because genetically they're
As
practically
close to perfect, there's close to perfect matches as you can get.
correct, right? Twins are like perfect for this. And these two twins witnessed their father stabbing their mom to death at a very young age. They weren't able to articulate it when they were young, but at 15, they were asked, what they remembered. And it's funny because they said, I don't remember my mom's voice. I don't remember the perfume she wore. Like I don't remember these little things like that, but I can remember her rolling in the grass. I can remember my father chasing her once he caught up with her and then just stabbing her. And these are events, they're like I said, they're like 3, 4 years old. And it's just mind baffling to me how like these events, because they attack your senses just so intensely that
Yeah,
you just
viscerally like that.
yeah, like you can't articulate it at a young age, and you may seem fine, right? Because I mean, you're 2, 3, or 4, and
You might
somebody
even repress it for a bit.
exactly. And the only times they really might manifest is if you're on the playground and or in some situation where you're getting triggered, and then it takes you back to that situation. But to remember something like that from a very young age, it's crazy how something so intense like that will stick with you. So yeah, so I just thought that was like pretty interesting and fascinating how the younger you are, the more profound of an impact an event like that is going to have on you. And but you would never think because when you're young, you don't remember half the shit that
Yeah.
happens in your life. But then I thought about myself. My father died when I was 7 years old, and I found him. And I couldn't tell you at 7 anything else I did or anything before that, but I can tell you that exact day, what we did that exact day, when I found him, what I did afterward. Like I can recall everything, but anything else that happened in my childhood like that and like any other events, don't remember them. So I'm like, man, like it's crazy, like what sticks with you and what doesn't. Like what like just finds its home and just embeds itself in your mind, essentially. But I feel like for a character like Sylar, right? Like that
Hmm.
event of what happened to his mother, that's gonna stick with him. Like that's gonna be there. So we can already see, and then you just said that we later find out he possessed the same abilities like his father. So we already know that he's predisposed to having this temperament, right?
Uh-huh.
And then now his environment is kind of shaping him into a person that because from what I read too is that his father sold him to his brother. I don't know if that's true or not,
It wouldn't surprise me, but I don't recall.
but from what I
See,
read, go ahead.
with 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 Zyler, the thing is, and I don't know how realistic this is, especially given your
Oh
experience.
yeah.
Uh, but for him, it was repressed basically until he went face to face with his father again. Like he didn't realize he was adopted, and a few characters use that against him, basically to say, "Oh, we're your family. We're
So he
your
like disassociated altogether. So see,
yeah,
that's another phenomenon because a lot of children who go through very significant trauma, abuse, verbally, emotionally, or anything, their minds typically protect them, from those memories, right? So they dissociate. They don't even that shit doesn't even cross their minds anymore. Like they don't even think about it. It's dormant. It's there. They don't address it
But it's
because
not conscious to them in any way, shape, or form.
right, right. It's there, but their minds are protecting them from what's going on. So
So that is feasible.
so
Okay,
it's
I
feasible.
wasn't sure.
No, 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 for sure. It's definitely feasible. But I feel like his motivations as well, as far as you saying like this need to be extraordinary, right? He may not have known that he was adopted, but I feel like a part of him, there was something in his mind where he did know that like this situation is not like my previous situation. Right?
Right.
Kids who tend to get adopted, they tend to have some sort of, from what I remember, they're at a higher risk for mental health conditions than, a lot of other kids, right? Like
Yeah.
depression, anxiety, PTSD. Sometimes they have a difficult time forming a connection with their adoptive parents as well. And then there's
Mm.
identity issues too, because they don't
Wait,
know their birth parents, they don't really know a lot about their culture. So all of these kind of play into their mental health and their mental health issues. But I think this need to be extraordinary, right? I feel like the identity issue is definitely there. Like that's
yeah.
definitely apparent with Sylar for sure. And once he attached himself to this need to be extraordinary at all costs, right? And I'm sure did his adoptive mother just kind of reinforce this?
She reinforced the belief that he was special or meant to
Hmm.
be special. Um,
So he's got to
I,
keep that.
there was, yeah. I don't recall there. It has been a while since I watched it,
No, yeah, yeah.
but I don't recall there being any abuse from her. If anything, it was more the coddling type. Um,
Okay.
you know, you are special.
You
You're
are special.
wonderful at your, yeah. Almost penguinish without without the homicidal mother.
So
I,
very
you know,
like overly affectionate, emotional, very like helicopter like parent.
I I think a little bit. Yeah, we didn't even have an inkling that he had a mother still
Mhm.
until, oh, can I come over? I'm afraid I'm going to do something. Essentially, I need to get my head on right. I feel like I'm going to do something awful. Um, Mind you, this is after he's already killed like a shit ton of people. Like, the only thing he had some reservations about was being a nuclear bomb and blowing up New York City. And to give you one more little bit of thing with your explanation about identity,
Yeah.
at some point he apparently killed a woman with the power of shapeshifting and then proceeded to kill the president of the United States and take his place. He happened to be
Oh
so
wow. Because
so
what
which the president of the United States was Nathan Petrelli, who also had powers. There's a scene where they see the guy who paints the guy who paints the future paints Nathan in the White House,
okay.
and then Sylar gets the same power because that's Sylar's whole fucking bag. And he paints it, but he paints Frankenstein's monster in the White House.
In the White House. So that's how he sees himself, right?
I'm presuming so. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He paints Frankenstein's monster, so that's foreshadowing the whole.
Yeah,
You know,
because Frankenstein's monster was something not really accepted by people, right? Something quite
yep,
odd. Yeah, that
that no
actually
one accepted.
no one accepted. That speaks a lot to his motivations in itself. I was gonna say, like, of course he would take the presidential mantle, right? Like, what other position could be more extraordinary than president of the United States?
See, the one thing that kind of throws a wrench into this, just a little,
Mhm.
is that they later establish that his power, more than just wanting to be extraordinary, which is still there, his power is like an active hunger, an active compulsion to do this, to kill people.
Okay,
Like, even when later on he finds a way to get powers without killing people, he kills them because fuck it, why not?
because lack of
Uh,
empathy.
yeah,
It's almost as if his power just kind of it just severed that empathetic part of his mind. You know what I mean? Like, it just seems like whatever his power was, just kind of, it was an override.
Yeah, to him, you're a bug in a terrarium to be studied. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Like,
uh,
and that well, so that's kind of realistic in regards to an actual serial killer, in real life, because a lot of them see people as objects. They don't see them as, a person, a mom, a dad, a brother, or sister. They don't see people like that. They see people as a tool, as an object. So in that sense, there are some similarities there.
yeah. Another thing he does show that I've noticed you point out a few times is that superficial charm.
Yes. Yes.
There's a time when he's trying to get Claire Bennett. Like, that's his biggest target.
Oh, what's her name?
Claire Bennett.
She has like healing factor and stuff like that.
Yeah, as in, like, she has a specific spot in the back of her head where if you hit her with the air, she'll stay dead. As soon as the obstruction's gone.
Then she's
But anyway,
fine. Okay.
yeah. So his whole mission in season 1 is to get her power. And he basically manages to break out of the super jail, lock Claire's father up, who works at the at the company, and then he goes to his house because he threw him against the wall and grabbed his ID and looked at his driver's license, found out where he lived, and he goes and he charms the wife, but eventually he slips because he keeps asking about Claire, and she starts to get like weirded out. But up until then, he manages to convincingly play a Fed in a later season where he convinces them, like, you move your cordon back so he can walk in and kill the person. Like,
so he is what the FBI would classify as a organized serial killer, in that he had an average to above average IQ. It seems he was able to adapt in different situations. It seems as though he was very socially competent, had a very controlled manner when it came to killing the people that he took off the board. Yeah, I mean, like superficial charm. These are all hallmarks of psychopathy. So, like, in that regard, very well written. What was his mo? I know why you're laughing, though. I know. Oh man, Sylar's MO. Come on, break it down for us. What was his MO?
Okay, so the first guy he kills has the power of telekinesis. But the way Sylar's powers work is once he understands the power, he can, what he does is he smashed the guy over the head with a rock and then cuts his head open, takes his brain out, examines it, turns on telekinesis. What he would do is he would just point at you and basically open your cranium like it's a fucking can of tuna with telekinesis, and then just examine the brain. But he can do some sadistic shit, like
he like took the force and warped that shit.
Yeah,
he took it to a whole nother level.
The irony is, like, now I don't know how realistic this is, but there are a couple times where you see that he tries to be good. There's a future version of him that is good-ish. And another character who gets powers takes his, and when he takes it, he understands how a watch works, and then Sylar just looks at him and goes, "You have it now. I am so sorry." Because it's one of those, like, they saw that the world was literally going to blow up if they didn't intervene.
If they didn't intervene, yeah.
Yeah, so it's one of those, like, just that's one. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, so essentially his MO was to just open people's heads and just take a piece of their brain. Was it like a certain special part of their brain, or was it just like any part? Did they say the prefrontal cortex?
He'd take the whole brain, I think, for the most part, because I also think that depending on the power. This is totally my supposition. I don't think it's ever confirmed. Depending on the power, different parts of the brain are active, which would explain why he's able to have all these, because he doesn't have to switch between them. He just has them.
Okay.
So he would just take the brain out and study it. But he's also a sadistic motherfucker. Like, when he's taking out Isaac Mendez, the guy who can paint the future,
Mm.
He literally like crucifies him against like floorboards with his
Okay.
paintbrushes with telekinesis, just pins him to the floor.
Don't need to read into that message in staging. Like that's pretty clear. Pretty clear how he feels about him. Oh man. He
So
so I mean, I guess he targeted what, like special people, right? Like that would be
yeah,
his.
yeah, that's the thing. When the scientist finds him and says, "Oh, you're special," the scientist uses him, what some bippity boppity bullshit with his DNA. Don't really understand it. Comic book science. Uh, and basically, he's patient zero, and the scientist creates a list of all these people and their powers, and Sylar gets a hold of it. So his whole thing is he's hunting down people simultaneously to get their powers, and so he can be the most special person of all and kill them so that they aren't as special as he is.
Was there anyone he killed aside from special people? Like, did he kill out of necessity? Because he had, I mean, I imagine people tried to stop him, right? Like
Oh, he had no qualms about killing people out of
okay,
necessity. Like he killed the scientist, the original scientist. That's how his son got on the trail. Was
okay,
the first kill you see him do. He doesn't take the guy's brain. He just goes into his cab and snaps his neck
and snaps his neck,
because it's like there's nothing special about him to take.
right?
So it's just a matter of kill him and move on.
Right.
But yeah, he has no qualms about killing normal people.
Okay.
I mean, mostly they're beneath his notice. But if they actually get in his way, yeah,
He
no
deals
more.
with it. That's a thing that's pretty much written for like a lot of characters, fictional characters. I mean that's a thing in real life too. Like a lot of people, you know, they will kill in order to keep their secrets. So again, that fits like a real life mode. The fact that he had he targeted specific people, that also fits a real life mode um, as well. I feel like he. Well, you would have to tell me. You would have to tell me this. Did he like so in the psychology sphere? He would be classified as a lot of things, right? He would have antisocial personality disorder.
Yep.
He would have some narcissistic traits, some psychopathic tendencies, identity disturbance. But then I also wonder if he had like schizoid personality disorder, where he had little to no interest having relationships with like friends or family or romantically. Was that a thing as well, or can you
There,
recall?
there, there were a couple times where they tried to humanize him. They kind of sort of gave him a girlfriend for a while. One of the special people when he was trying to fight it, kind of thing.
Okay,
But eventually he fails and kills her.
okay,
Uh, but one that I do find interesting, at one point, the main character's father, who can steal powers, they did that as a way to nerf Peter, the basically Peter Petrelli. He basically had Sylar's absorption ability when he got into the same emotional headspace.
he was able to.
He was able to use the powers by getting in whatever headspace
I
that
like
their
that.
presence
Yeah.
put him in. So it's like he's almost the anti-Sylar.
Okay. His yang to his yen or whatever.
Whichever. I never know which one's the light, which one's the dark. But yeah, that's kind of the idea. Sylar has no empathy, and then Peter has hyper developed empathy to the point where same result, two different methods.